You reading this chat?
Yeah, so funny.
All right, guys, we are live.
No, live in 12. Oh, is it live? Yeah, okay. Yeah, absolutely.
Okay, yeah. Good morning, good evening, good afternoon, depending where you are in the world. Thank you for joining us for this very exclusive Q&A and performance with But Thieves, hosted by vArmour. My name is Damson. Also joining with us on the vArmour side is Diana and Tim, our CEO. And on the Nothing But Thieves side, we have Conor and Joe.
Hey, did.
So for folks not familiar with vArmour, real quick, and just meeting us, we have hundreds of customers around the world that rely on us to secure their applications and data in their multi-cloud using application relationship management. So for the next 20 minutes or so, we're going to do a fun Q&A with the band. And then at the end, we'll share a link to the performance that Nothing But Thieves has been kind enough to put together for us, for you guys to tune into the performance. So before we kick off, again, thank you for everyone for being here. We thought
I can't hear Namson at all. I don't know what's going on.
I can hear you. Can you hear me?
I'm just sitting here like, all right, you got me. You can spot me because I can't hear you. I can't hear Namson. So.
Yeah. So
I can hear everyone else.
During this pandemic, it's more important than ever for us to all smile, and who better to do that smiling with than our friends Nothing But Thieves. So Tim, do you want to kind of kick off the Q&A and questions?
Yeah, I'll kick it off. I'm big fans of the band, have been for years and years and years. Got drunk with them, celebrated my birthday with them, and had a really great time all over the world. So thrilled that we could do this in a time of a pandemic when there's not much to smile about and everybody doesn't want to turn on the TV, otherwise they go batshit crazy. I just want to say thanks for doing this. Have a smile and just keep enjoying it, because we got to have something to smile about right now. I mean, come on. All right, so who's gonna do the questions? Diana, you gonna do questions?
Yeah, I can jump and start into the questions. We got a lot of awesome questions.
I can hear you, so that
Yeah, I can be the voice of questions. It's awesome.
Cool.
So we got a lot of questions from fans, but we have a couple questions. We just wanted to start with, why did you guys name the band Nothing But Thieves? Where did that come from? What's the story behind that?
Which one do you want to tell today, Joe?
Have we got any new ones in the pipeline?
No, honestly, we haven't. Can't think of any. Like we make them up every single time. Our favourite one we stuck with quite a lot was that our good friend Joe used to be a pizza delivery driver, and our good friend Gersh
Tell everyone.
Tell
everyone.
yeah. All the toppings off our pizzas, and we just called it. He said that we're nothing but thieves, and that stuck, and that's definitely the right and true reason why that. It's not made up.
What's your pizza topping? I guess then. What are you stealing off the pizza?
I don't know. I think he's selling pepperoni. Actually, this guy Gershwin, his name. He was in the band briefly. He played keyboard, and oboe. Wasn't very good. And he's also the character from the song Itch as well. The song is about Gersh basically. So he's sort of in Nothing But Thieves mythology quite a few times.
It's quite true.
That's funny. That's awesome.
I have a question. For Conor and Joe. What's the funniest thing that's happened on tour? What's something fun and embarrassing you guys could share?
Someone else asking a question. No.
Namza said, "What's the funniest thing that's happened on tour, or most embarrassing?"
Oh gosh.
Connor's not on the potato. I think the crowd surf.
I don't know what is going on. What is this?
Can you hear me? Oh, Connor, can you hear me?
The crowd surf. Yeah.
Or something. Yeah, something else.
Yeah, maybe you can filter through. Yeah, basically, I jumped. Can you hear me? But I jumped off stage and thought people would catch me, and jumped and landed straight on my back and my head, and then had to go to a chiropractor for a few months.
No,
really fucked my back up.
Manchester Dot Festival, I think it was called.
Yeah, it was really embarrassing. We were way smaller than I believed in my head, I think, at the time. So I thought people would catch me, and they didn't. They just went.
Yeah, I mean, there are only 15 people in the crowd, so I don't know.
So stupid. Funny
You were
though.
feeling it, I guess. Yeah, that's funny. That's a good story. Another one that I had, and we got this question from a fan, actually, I thought it was a really great question. The question was, most people tend to buy, physical copies of albums, or don't tend to buy physical copies of albums unless they're like their favorite artist, or, buying them on vinyl for, some sentimental value. Are you guys buying physical copies of albums? Do you typically download and stream? Like, how are you guys approaching that? And if you do own vinyls of, your favorite albums, which albums are they?
Wow. Yeah, we do both, I'd say. I love playlist culture because it's so easy to find new music. I love that. Joe's running away. But I also have a vinyl collector, so like I'll just make sure my favorite vinyls, like my favorite albums in the world, I'll have on vinyl. So I've got everything, like loads, like Miles Davis, Chet Baker. I've got old school Fleetwood Mac and Led Zeppelin albums. Just stuff that.
Oh, he's cutting out a little.
It's gone.
Yeah, Connor's
He was saying some Fleetwood Mac, some Led Zeppelin vinyl, but
I think that's what happens when you give a boring answer. Just kidding. If you can hear me, I'm just joking.
He's back.
No, I'm the same. I'm the same. Actually, this is a nice moment. Conor and Dom did like a thing with a radio station, went to like a vinyl store, and Conor found Ziggy Stardust on vinyl for me and brought it back for me because that's one of my favorite albums. Absolutely love it. And yeah, I've got a Foo Fighters signed vinyl as well. That's probably like one of my most treasured possessions. But yeah, I mostly stream, like a few vinyl, but I mostly stream. It's so convenient and all the music's there. So
yeah,
I think as a music fan, it's great.
Yeah, totally. I would agree with that. I kind of do the same. I have like some vinyl that I like to, have just because it's sentimental and like my favorites, but I don't actually end up listening to it much. It's just more for like me to own.
Exactly.
Yeah. Cool.
I am here. Don't worry. I'm here.
Please don't leave me because I'm out.
He's here.
Where's a question for you guys? What's the favorite place you guys have performed at so far?
Someone's asking a question that I can't hear, right?
Oh yeah. Say that again.
Favorite place we performed.
Favorite place we performed.
You go, Joe.
There's loads of fans on the chat, so whatever country we say, the other ones are going to get really annoyed.
We've got the whole world, I think, on there. I've seen Greece, Spain, Chile.
I don't know. The variety is kind of part of it. Like, I guess Europe's always fun because, you wake up in a different country every single day. Like, I love that side of things. But then, visiting South America and like Russia and Asia, that's all really exciting because they feel like so sort of alien to our culture and stuff. There's so much more going on and so many different things. I don't know. I couldn't pick one. How about you, Conor?
I think I generally like touring Asia. I just, it's so, like Joe said, it's so unusual for us.
Hello.
Yeah.
Oh, no, that's an entrance. That's
that makes sense.
Right
that
there.
makes more sense.
It's like, I'll be right back. I got something.
The internet connection was so bad for them there to come over. I love touring Asia. So Tokyo is one of my favorite places to tour. I love Seoul in South Korea. I just love the food. I love the kind of calm and generous kind of people. Yeah, I just really enjoy being that far away as well. It's fun.
Yeah, awesome.
There we go.
Awesome.
Now I've got
We got
friends.
some faces. Hey, Dan.
How are you doing? How's the world doing?
Wow.
For the people asking where Price is, he doesn't have a computer. He's still stuck in the Stone Age. So it's just the talented ones you've got today, I'm afraid. And Phil's here too. How's everyone doing? How are you, Nansen?
Doing great.
Yeah?
Doing fantastic. Yeah. So glad you guys can do this with us.
Oh, mate. I mean, this is the benefit of living opposite Joe because I couldn't get it to work. So Joe was like, "Do you want to just run over?"
Yeah. How far away? How far away, you guys?
probably just as much as you showed, probably a foot. But we literally we're on the other side of the road from each other, which is quite convenient for things like this.
Cheers.
Yeah, awesome.
Yeah,
Awesome.
Oh, we've got our beers.
Right. So I got another question for you guys. So what have you guys been doing during the pandemic? I mean, for me, I'm lucky. I play golf. I get to go outside and do my own distancing playing golf. What do you guys do right now?
We've been doing a lot of writing, haven't we? Luckily, we're in a bubble, so we were allowed to.
Yeah, no. I mean, this is like technically work, which is handy considering we pretend to be friends as well. So
yeah,
it all works out really.
Helpful. So we've been doing that, and then there's been a lot of time just to feel like. I mean, we were meant to be touring this year, so we've been planning a lot for next year. A lot of penciling in dates rather than sort of penning them in, because you never know what's going to happen. But yeah, a lot of planning for those tours as well, what we're going to be doing, and we obviously did a load of streaming shows as well, which were awesome. We've been keeping busy, which has been great. I think we're not the sort of people just to sort of sit there and just twiddle your thumbs and wait for it to pass. We just kept pretty active, to be honest.
Yeah, good for you guys. That's awesome.
Yeah, totally. I guess that kind of leads well into the next question. If you guys have been obviously spending the pandemic writing a lot of music, what's your writing process look like? I mean, I know it's different for everyone. I personally do some writing myself, but it's like I have to be really in the zone. But what's your guys' process look like?
The stuff we've been doing now, we've all had little bits and pieces, haven't we? That we've been picking up separately. Connor's disconnected. Maybe he wanted to answer this question. We'll wait for him to rejoin.
I think you might be able to hear us. It happened before, but it might just be the camera. Let's see.
It's fine. This is more interesting anyway. But yeah, to be honest with you, I mean, Joe's got a good example of this. He'll just be building a massive set of lyrics. Connor's got a dial-up internet connection. He's still with AOL and he's still working that out. But to answer your question, we all write little bits and pieces. Joe will have a bank of lyrics on his phone, and they just go on for about 10 years, and it's just about formulating like different concepts. And then when we get together, we'll say, I've got this piece of music that might marry up with that, and vice versa. But to be honest, sometimes it will just be like from scratch, and sometimes we'll sit there and just go, we've been inspired with these bands and that band, and it'll just come out of the blue, won't it?
Yeah, it's quite random. Like, I think so. We did a stream show with Radio X, the radio station, last week or 2 weeks ago, and it's the first time we've been able to play properly together in a venue for ages and ages, and that was great. Next morning, I think I probably still had a lot of adrenaline. I woke up really early. I was sort of up at like 6:30, ended up sort of starting a song just from scratch, but only for like sort of 20 minutes. Like it's like a brief idea, and then that day or the day after, Boy to You, and that's turned into a whole new thing just from 20 minutes inspiration really early. So,
we did. Yeah. It's really good. It's quite nice getting. We've only just released More Organic, but it's non-stop for like the creative process, and we're excited about the new stuff already, which is cool.
Yeah. And Moral Panic has been doing amazing on the charts and amazing.
Number 3, right? On the UK.
Number 3, yeah.
That's incredible. Yeah. How does that feel? Just seeing the whole thing, like full big picture, like from the start of you guys being a band to like now. What's the emotion you guys are feeling?
Go on, Phil. How's it feel, Phil?
It feels really, really good that I feel like, because we were just kind of always testing the waters of our music and stuff, it was, to get number 3 with number 3 felt very just like, oh, we're really like established now. Like we're actually like, we have a really decent fan base, and it's actually quite comforting really that we can release music and feel quite comfortable that like a large chunk of people are going to get it.
Yeah, it doesn't feel so much like a flash in the pan anymore.
No, we're not a flash in the pan. I think we can successfully say that.
We're still a no-hit wonder, but we are a wonder.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean,
I wonder why the charts.
I feel weirdly like.
I'll go on, Conor, sorry.
Sorry, I don't even know if I'm in sync. Who knows? I feel weirdly like the first sort of 5 years of the band, it felt nuts, and we were obviously relatively small. But now it's the opposite, where we've got quite big and everything weirdly feels tamer, and we're a bit more on a human and more of a chilled level. And it's quite a nice place to be, because you can see it as just this unbelievable hobby that you do every day, rather than something that like it's just overbearingly crazy. It's like I feel like we're in this position of a really good control over it in a sense too, you know. It's cool. It's more calm, but bigger.
Yeah, I can understand that. I mean, it totally. I'm sure it just feels great from that side, and just seeing all the hard work you've put in. How long have you guys been together? 6 years, maybe longer, something like that.
Well, 6 years since we got like signed, but I mean, 9 years a band, or nearly 10 years a band.
Well, I was born and Phil was holding me.
So that's how they
That's a different story for a different day.
Do you think I did actually hold you?
Yeah, I hope
like
so.
a baby?
Probably.
Yeah.
I'd have been 5.
Yeah. That's old enough to be trusted with a child that hasn't got much promise.
So let's do a question from the audience here. Here's one. What's the song you guys are most proud to have written?
Most proud.
Probably between Neon Brother and Resent Me for myself.
Yeah, there's left in there.
I think I'll go for the left.
It's a big one to get a glass. Sorry, just talking. It's beer time. I think I'm still really proud of If It Get High from album 1. I think there's something about that song.
Yeah, me too.
Really simple. It's like 2 chords. Has like a really sort of big emotional scale. Like I don't know. It's that we just sort of hit a good one on like the first album. I've still really enjoyed that song.
Yeah.
How about you, Conor?
I would say that's always in my top 3. I think from the new record, Free If We Want It, kind of for a similar reason. It's you always try and write great simple songs, and along the journey you kind of write complicated songs, and kind of maybe great over complicated songs. So to write something that's a great song but simple, like If I Get High from the first record, and like Free If We Want It from this record, is an achievement that we don't do very often. So I like those 2 songs as well.
Cool. Let me take one more question from the audience, and this one's actually specifically for you, Conor. This is kind of a fun one. But Conor, please tell us, will there be another stream on Instagram where you're in a row with a cat and wine? Sounds like there's a story behind that.
No, I think that was peak lockdown insanity, where I just was in like fuck it mode.
I can relate. Cat and wine.
I'm way more chill now. It's all good. Yeah, I lost it. I just was like on this
we all
live
did.
stream.
Yeah.
What
Like, it was great. Yeah.
It's so good.
It's so good. But I was with my mum and had like 2 bottles of wine. It's so sad. And then just sat with my cat and sang Freddie Mercury at the top of my lungs. It was weird. Very strange.
We'll have those first few weeks of lockdown where we're like, have a few drinks, and then it turned into too many. And it was, I think you caught Conor in peak of greatness.
I was really drunk. It was funny.
Did anyone tell you to work in a bar? Look at this one poured for Joe. Perfect. Yes, right.
Well, cool. I think we have time for a couple more questions. The stream's going to start in just 6 minutes, so I think we could do like 1 or 2 more questions. A question I'm curious about is who are your guys' biggest musical influences? Maybe each of you want to answer and give 1 or 2. You mentioned a few on the vinyl question, but
Phil Blake,
James
Price, Tiffany and Danielle.
Yeah, Tiffany and Danielle, great duo from the UK. We should check their stuff out.
Foo Fighters, massive one for me.
David Grohl.
Always been massive. Yeah, like sort of discovered Foo Fighters, and then it's a bit of like a weird moment when you realise for the first time that Dave Grohl was the drummer of Nirvana. Like, it's sort of something you don't really like. When everyone knows it now, but the first time you hear that, it's always shocking, isn't it? Like, yeah. So then, like, discovered Nirvana. That was a massive influence.
I've just realised that everyone, apart from Duran Duran, maybe, has sort of mentioned all of our
like Radiohead, Queen of Stone.
I'm going to ask the question. I'm going to put this question. Quite literally. But I'm going to flip this question to what we've discovered recently, because there's a few other bands and artists that we've been listening to. Recently started discovering Michael Kiwanuka's stuff. Conor was talking about it, and I recently actually took the time to sit down and listen to. He's got like a 10-minute song. What's the name of it, Conor? The one that was the extended version.
Cold Little Heart.
Is that one we listened to the other night?
Cold Little Heart.
Outrageous.
Yeah. So Rosie Danvers, who did the string arrangement for Impossible at Abbey Road, she did that album. Was it the whole album or just that song?
Yeah, he did the whole record.
Oh, okay.
Whole record.
Yeah, I mean, unbelievable.
Yeah, she did the strings on that record.
Yeah.
So yeah, Michael Kiwanuka's awesome. And then what else did we listen to? We were listening to The Kills a little bit. They've got some amazing tracks. And
War on Drugs has been good. New Idols album's amazing.
Yeah, real good.
there's a lot of good stuff out, and I feel like lockdown's been great for rediscovering stuff as well as discovering things. And it does rub off on the creative side of wanting to write like stuff in that vein or taking little influences from those things. So yeah, that's what's been recently on the radar.
Cool. Yeah, that's awesome.
So Diana, I have another question for the band, but while I get through that, do you mind? Let's put up the link for the content stream. That's going to be on a different platform. So there's going to be a button right at the bottom of your screen that's going to come up in a second. Just click on that. The password for that's going to be Relationships Matter. So make sure you guys pop that in when you get over there. But as we wind down here, maybe some words of inspiration from you guys. I know, as a band, you guys have been through it all. You started from where you did and made it to being such a successful band. Any advice for folks here in the audience of what it takes just to be successful? We're all coming from different angles at this, but would love to hear some words of advice.
What was I think we always say, like, we kind of underestimated how easy it would be to write songs, because it's not. And we were musicians first, so we met each other from playing in bands and learning our instruments and just enjoying thrashing the guitar or trumpet, if you're Conor, or whatever it was he was doing. And I think for us it was a big transition, and trying to it was a new craft that we had to kind of learn. So writing a lot of songs, and it literally took about 3 years to start writing songs that were listenable and actually sort of represented what we wanted to do. So I guess it's that classic thing of practice makes perfect, but it was interesting to actually see how that was relevant in our field. And that's a big one. Very cliche, so I do apologise. It's pretty awful advice.
No, I think that's good advice. I think surrounding yourself with the right people as well. Yeah. We've gone through different members of crew, and just different things. You meet a lot of people doing this job. So I think once you have the right people around you and it kind of feels like family, that's when it feels way more enjoyable. And I guess because you're working together, but they're also friendships. The relationships are really intense, but they're almost some of the best relationships I have because of that. So I'd say, is that good advice? Is that good?
I really like that. And I was going to ask Conor, but he's a potato. Connor's advice is don't pay for good internet. Buy clothes, lots of them, different colours, different sizes, big, small, wacky, weird, sometimes nice. He's gone. Was it that offensive?
He's gone. So thank you so much, you guys, for doing this with us. I mean, we've known each other now, that you Nothing But Thieves and vArmour for what, 3 or 4 years now. So so thankful for knowing you guys this long, doing all these events with us. Looking forward to many more after this. So thank you so much for your time.
No, thank you so much. Thank you guys. Thank you. And
Yeah.
thanks to all the fans for tuning in. And sorry we didn't answer all your questions. We'll save them for another day. We'll get to you at some point.
And enjoy the stream again.
Enjoy the stream.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, just click right below for the stream and passwords there. Relationship.
I'm going to watch this. Join the show.
Thanks, guys.
Cheers, guys.
Thank you.